Hello everyone and welcome to my project, and today we're gonna look how to make the same fully functional working terminal for the Fallout environment. In that video I'm gonna show you how to make this upper part, the terminal itself. That would have the sensor. You can see the temperature here, the pressure here, the screen itself, what is the functional. I will show how to solder that, how to connect it in the simple way. In the same time, in that video, I'll show you how to solder those buttons. Here the button up, button down, and here on the side button select there. I will show you how to solder that, and plus to that you can hear the sound when I'm pressing those buttons. Here we have the buzzer. I'm using that as the base for my bubble head, and I'll show you everything in a simple manner how you can solder it without any specific experience in the soldering. So let's go! Alright, let's start assembly. So what I have now, I have the printed body of the terminal. And actually the screen could be open up like that, and I have pre-wired already the buttons. Here the button up, button down, and button select. And I already installed the screen. Generally I just glued that inside the body.
For the soldering, I prepared that chart, principle chart. I'm not an electrician, and that made just for the hobbyist. And I will highlight all the parts what we are now soldering, just to be more clear what we are doing here. Like this part is for the screen. For the actual soldering, we'll start with the LED cable. And the LED cable expect to be soldered to D6 based on the chart, and this is the only cable for the screen which is required resistor. 100 ohm resistor is required here. On the next stage we need to wire those 5 data cables, D13, 11, D9 and D8 and D10. So for those I'm using the regular green cables. Alright, that is done, and on the final stage I need 2 power cables, ground and the plus.
Alright, done.
And now we can proceed with the soldering those ends of the cables to the Arduino itself. Here is our Arduino, and you can see on the chart those pins where we expect to solder that. But before that, I just checking that Arduino is fitting the body. This is the body what I printed out, and on the bottom part of that body I prepared the hole for the USB cable where we could upload the new sketches and overall upload the software there. That's meaning that cables are going from that direction of the screen and should be wired from that side of the Arduino. Start of soldering. When data cables are soldered from the screen to the Arduino, I start soldering the power cables. I having pair of the cables from the screen and I soldering them to the same pair of the cables from the Arduino itself, making the power star and the ground star. Alright, we have soldered the power cables, ground and the plus, and then we have to solder the buttons based on the chart. And what shall we do? We have to solder one part of the button, the green cables, to the Arduino itself based on the chart, and the second part to the ground. Alright, we're done with the soldering, And now what we have? We have the 5-volt star, we have the ground star, and we have soldered the screen to the Arduino itself, and we soldered all the buttons to the Arduino itself. And now it is a perfect time to test it. I'm just plugging in USB Type-C cable, loading, and we have the software already started. Screen is working, as you can see. And also we can see that buttons are operational as well. So test is successful. And now we're gonna add some sound to be produced by the terminal. For that we're using buzzer. And that buzzer is buzzing all the time when electricity on the plus and the minus. To avoid that, we have a transistor already wired to here. And how is that working? We have a data cable wired to the A2 pin of the Arduino, and when it's signal high, that's 5 volts on that pin, it's opening the transistor, and the ground goes through the transistor to the minus of the buzzer. The plus is always on, so thus it's buzzing only when A2 is giving a signal to the transistor. And now let's wire that. We completed soldering and ready for the second testing.
Okay, buzzer is working. Okay. That's working as well. Good.
And then we can proceed further with the soldering of the sensors. We have two sensors, real-time clock and the humidity and temperature sensor. And let's start soldering first of that, the temperature sensor, as it's only one sensor which I expect to be part of the body of the screen. Real-time clock sensor is too big to fit inside the body of the screen of the terminal itself, so I decided to place it within the power section. I'm using only two data cables for A4 and A5 pins to the Arduino, all the rest I'm not using, and then I will use the 3 and 3 volts directly out of the pin of the Arduino. It have this output through the pins, and ground will be soldered to our ground star we created earlier. And the last piece, what we need to do with our terminal screen is to include the capacitor there. Here I have soldered together electrolytic and the ceramic capacitors. It is not mandatory to have those in your chart and your devices, and that would work without them, but it's helping you to avoid some issues with the electricity supply. The ceramic capacitors is protecting our device from the high frequency noise, and that's specifically important for the screen. The electrolytic capacitors provide you more energy, where the consumption of the energy is higher, and it makes smoother the consumption of the electricity. That is also important for your booster, for your electricity source, and it's good for your device. I soldered both electrolytic and ceramic capacitor to the power entrance of the Arduino Nano, and actually this could protect both Arduino and our screen from the high frequency noises and from the electricity gaps. And then on the screen I expect to solder only high volume electrolytic capacitor. When all the capacitors are soldered, it's a nice time to test it one more time. But before the final testing and before the final assembly, that's always nice to test it by the multi-tester for the short circuit. Thus, you could burn out everything at that moment. I'm just switching on the ringing mode on my tester and just touching plus and minus. If they're ringing, so that's somewhere the short circuit. There should not be any signal between the plus and minuses. Before the final assembly, that it's super nice to feel all the gaps and all the outputs by the hot glue gun, how I made it. Generally it's protective for the occasion for the short circuit later on after the assembly. this is how my beautiful chart and the beautiful spaghetti looks like now. Finally, we should have extra more cables coming from Arduino Nano from the terminal body to the bottom part, to the power section of our terminal work, at least for the real-time clock sensor and for the LED lamp to be standing on the desk. And that's super nice to have the labels to mark those cables and not to mix it later on. Alright, I packed all our pieces inside the body. Now that looks like that. Again, the incredible spaghetti diagram here. And this is a very nice idea to test it one more time before the closing up of the body, thus opening that next time would be pretty complicated. Alright, I'm powering that up by again USB Type-C cable. Waiting a bit. And that's start booting. Alright. That is working and we are ready to close up the body.
So I have assembled the terminal. And actually I even was able to close up the body. Here we still have the charging port, but I had one problem regarding the space is buzzer. And actually it were not enough space to fit that inside. And I decide to put it outside, but actually that's still pretty okay as I decide to put there on the top like this bubble head there, and actually that's I think looks like pretty okay. So, and if we test it, we can check that actually that's switching on. Actually loading complete. We can go to the settings, to the scenes and so on until we wait 10 seconds. The screensaver, you can see the temperature and you can see the pressure. So that means that the sensor inside is working, but actually you can see the battery status. It's like here, and you can see the time.
For that we need our real-time sensor to be installed later. And of course we don't want to power it on always by USB Type-C cable. And those pieces we will cover in the second part of the video. Thank you for watching, stay tuned and see you in the second part.